joining us. I'm your host, James. Alongside me always is...
My name's Andy.
And today, we will make a wish on the 7 magical Dragon Balls and hope you all join us as we become Legend of the Nerds. Andy, how are you today?
Oh, same old, same old. Just excited to be here for another great show of Legend of the Nerds.
And today is a great show, because today we are all about jacking up our power levels over 9,000. Talking about Dragon Ball Z today.
It's one of your all-time favorite things to watch.
Man.
I mean, God, the show's been going on since 1986, I believe.
Yep.
So,
it's
I mean,
been on for a long time.
just tells you how, I guess, magical the show is, you can say.
The show is actually coming back.
Exactly.
Coming back,
with
new
Dragon Ball
episodes.
Super.
It had 9 seasons total for a run, first time. And they're hoping for another 5 seasons to run after this.
Yep.
Which would be fantastic. So we're going to start off, we're going to talk about each saga. Not the seasons, but the sagas within the show itself.
Yep.
Because for me, when I watched the entire series, I disagree where one season starts and the season ends. I don't really like how they did that with the disc.
Yeah, it should be more of, like you said, the saga, because it's like, I think in a Ginyu Force saga and a Frieza saga, they call them different seasons, but it kind of all is the same.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was season 3, I think, when it was like, the Ginyu saga, that ties into the Frieza saga, and then the season ends like in the middle of something, you know? Where it probably shouldn't have ended there, it should have ended something a little more cliffhanger portion. But let's jump back in time. Let's do the Saiyan saga, where we all start the story again.
It's a great beginning, because, I mean, you're literally jumping from Goku in his Dragon Ball series, which we'll get to on another day, into, okay, now he's an adult. He doesn't really have that awesome power level yet. And you get that backstory of where he basically came from.
Yeah.
I mean, he doesn't know that he's a Saiyan. For all he knows is he was born and raised here on Earth.
This is really the beginning of the whole history of the show itself, where we learn everything about Goku that we ever want to know. If you watch Dragon Ball, yes, he's got a tail, he sees a full moon, he gets turned into a giant ape, but it never really showed or explained why.
No, I mean, even they show, I think, the pod, but obviously, so then you know he comes from somewhere else, but he doesn't know that.
Nope.
He thinks he's homegrown, basically.
In the first season, we really jump in star when we meet his older brother, Raditz.
Which was a huge surprise to me when I watched it. I'm like, wow, he's got a brother.
Yeah.
It was great, because you see this guy who looks just like him, but is wicked more powerful. So he's got to go, of course, to his allies to help save his son.
And speaking of his son, Gohan, no one knew about Gohan. It was a little get-together on Roshi's Island when Krillin and Master Roshi was there, Bulma was there. They all find out that Goku's got a son.
Yeah.
Raditz comes in, kidnaps him. Right out of the blue, you know?
Just take him on an uncle-nephew outing.
Yeah. But, I mean, he did that, so, because Goku was supposed to be destroyer of Earth.
Exactly. You learn the whole Saiyan race. They're proud warriors, but they also conquer and destroy planets. And that was
Which brings up the great point of, number one I want to bring up, is Piccolo. The last time we met Piccolo, he wasn't a very nice guy.
No, he's trying to destroy everybody and Goku.
Was not very nice. So now, he already had his run-in with Raditz once. Now he wants to team up with his arch-enemy Goku. Team up and go after him.
Yeah, that's what they say. Keep your friends close, but your enemies even closer.
That's right.
So, I mean, hey, if you can't beat Goku, what makes you think you're going to beat his super powerful brother?
That's right.
But, I mean, he even says, I think, in it, that we're enemies, but we're working together today for a common goal.
And
after this, I'm going to try to kill you.
Yep.
So, he's still not really the Piccolo we learn to love later on in the seasons. He's still got that meanness to him.
That's right. So finds out, that fight gets over with. Goku didn't really have a happy ending.
No, he dies, unfortunately, with his brother. But on the brighter side, Piccolo finally killed Goku.
Yeah, he finally accomplished his goal.
You'd think he'd be happy.
He accomplished his goal. But now, we're at the point where Gohan gets kidnapped again.
but by Piccolo.
Because we find out that 2 more Saiyans are coming their
Exactly.
way.
You got Radix with the
You have Nappa and Vegeta coming his way.
yeah, because Raditz had the
Scouter.
the scouter, which has records everything that Vegeta and Nappa hear.
Yep.
And the whole reason they're going there is just because of the Dragon Balls. They could care less about blowing Earth up. That's
At
just a
this
side.
point in time, so we gotta stop and keep in mind that those scouters are transmitters. They don't just transmit to Nappa and Vegeta.
Nope,
They
they
also transmit
to someone more powerful.
to someone more powerful who heard this as well.
Yep.
We'll get that a little bit later.
Oh yes.
So now we have Goku dead, making his way out on Snake Way.
But first he meets King Yama. We get to finally meet the great and powerful King Yama,
King Yama.
who apparently everyone is scared of, but you never see him do anything. He just sits there.
He yells a lot.
Yeah, I guess that's scary enough. I mean, you got someone that's 100 feet tall yelling at you, you'd probably listen too.
Yep.
But he's got that, 100-mile run on Snake Way to go to.
Oh man, it is longer than
to
that.
get to
It's like
King
1,000.
Kai.
It's a million. I think it's 1,000,000 miles.
And of course, Goku trying to be the little smart owl he is, I'll just fly. Well,
He flies,
he flies right down to HFIL.
jumps. He also rides on the street cleaner.
I forgot about that. That was a funny thing, yeah, because it takes up
That's how he gets to down below.
yeah,
He falls right off of it.
right to HFIL, which I think's that was the thing with this Japanese anime is they had a funny way of calling, I guess, hell something different instead of
Yeah,
calling it that.
yep.
It's home for incredible losers or something like that.
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
called,
yeah.
Which was
It was
hilarious.
awesome. But he goes out there on Snake Way, gets back on there, going out to see King Kai
Mm-hmm.
for more training to beat the other 2 Saiyans.
Exactly.
And that's where Gohan is training with Piccolo to beat these 2 Saiyans.
If you look, Piccolo training Gohan actually was the best thing for him.
Mm-hmm.
Because Gohan, just growing up with Goku and Chi-Chi, was kind of just a little kid, an average little kid. Piccolo literally takes him, throws him out into the wild, survive for half the year by
Have fun.
yourself. Yeah, survive for half the year by yourself, and hey, if you're alive when I come back, then we'll begin your training.
Yep.
So, I mean, is that kind of a good way just to make sure he can take care of himself first before he gets into anything hard?
Let's move forward more. Saiyans finally come. Big fight comes out. But first, we introduce the Cybermen.
Yeah.
These little
Little green alien dudes that come out of little
that
pods.
Nappa plants in the ground.
Yep.
They have a little fight there. Z-Fighters all come around.
You always got to have something for the other Z fighters to do.
Of course you do. Of course you do.
Got to hope Krillin can do something.
Oh, Krillin does a lot more. But we'll get that later on, though. But, Goku turns up, gets wished back alive with the Dragon Balls, comes and he has an epic fight with Vegeta.
Before that, first he fights Nappa, and
That wasn't much of a fight.
no, it's not. I mean, Nappa is of course the lackey.
Yep.
He's the sidekick, but you would think someone as big as Nappa was, he'd put up a fight, and even being a Saiyan. But Goku had a couple tricks up his sleeve that he learned from King Kai, and of course Vegeta just had to get rid of the extra weight once Nappa was paralyzed,
Yep.
which shows how ruthless Vegeta was.
He was ruthless.
Where
yeah.
he'll kill his own right hand man to get what he wants. But the battle though between Goku and Vegeta was very epic.
Yep.
Because you got 2 guys that will develop this massive rivalry and friendship later on down the road, and their power levels are basically equal. They are superior to one another.
Fight ends. Goku wins.
With
Doesn't really look like it,
yeah,
but he wins.
he needed help though. He threw one of his moves he learns from King
Spirit
Kai,
Bomb.
the Spirit Bomb. He actually missed
Well,
when
remember,
he
he
threw
gives
it.
the energy to Krillin.
Yeah, but then it comes towards
Krillin
Gohan,
throws it,
and it goes to Gohan,
and
And-
Gohan
throws it to.
flex it back.
Yeah, the best part though, what I thought was in the Saiyan saga was Gohan looking up at the moon for the first time.
Oh, yeah.
He still has his tail, because they cut off Vegeta's tail to stop him becoming a giant ape. But of course, Gohan becomes the giant ape and just throws Vegeta around all
Which
over
we
the
gotta
place.
give some credit to Yajirobe for actually,
The only thing
being
he's
a
useful
little
for.
brave here.
The only
and
thing
he cut
he's
the tail
useful.
off.
He's only useful for that one sword.
Mm-hmm.
That's about it.
Well, he is delivery man for the
Sensu beans?
for the senzu beans.
Yeah.
That's right. But anyways, that's just season 1. That's a lot on just season 1. And we're gonna jump into the Namek Saga now.
Mm-hmm.
This takes place right after the fight. You have Goku. He is out of senzu beans. He's sitting in the hospital, all bandaged up, can't even move.
I mean,
Since Piccolo died in the Saiyan Saga,
yeah,
now that means no more Dragon Balls.
yeah,
We
and
lost a lot of warriors in the Saiyan Saga.
yeah. In the beginning, I mean, that's really, you don't see much. It's all just let's heal, because it's the same thing with Vegeta. I mean, Krillin actually almost killed Vegeta at the end of the Saiyan Saga with Yachirobe's sword. And you actually start to get to see the development of who, as we were saying, someone more powerful listening on the Scouters. You learn a name, and you learn a little bit more about him, because Vegeta has to go fly off and get healed himself, because he doesn't have anything to heal him like we do with the sensu beans.
We actually do learn pretty early in the Namek Saga about this new villain. So you have Krillin, Gohan, and Bulma takes off in a ship to go to planet Namek
Yep, to retrieve the
to
Dragon
retrieve
Balls.
their Dragon Balls to wish all their friends back to life. They get sidetracked on a ship. This ship just has a bunch of children on it because their planet got destroyed. They take the Z fighters into custody because they think they work for this villain. This villain is Frieza. They're all afraid of him. They thought they were a bunch of henchmen.
Yep.
Find out they're not, so they let him go, heal up the ship a little bit, and they take off. Then again, another sidetrack. They get into the false Namek, or the fake Namek planet.
Which was huge, because you think, okay, now we're going to start off with the whole Namek saga. Okay, we're on planet Namek, but come to find out.
Another sidetrack. What Dragon Ball Z does the best. They don't stop the story. They keep the story going. They keep growing.
Instead of it being something very quick, it's the one time I like something stretched out, I guess. Because in a movie, I hate it when it's stretched out way too long. But in a series, it's nice to see maybe a fight stretch a good 3 to 7 episodes, kind of something like that. You want everything explained to you. And that's what they did. Instead of making everything quick, let's just fly to planet Namek, because they even say...
They could have just gone... They show...
Yeah, I mean,
they take off, next episode they're on Namek.
They say it takes like a month to get to Namek. Something like that. And so you would think, okay, it's going to take a month. You want to see it stretched out a little bit, not just fly there in one day.
That month. Yeah, exactly. And I think the false Namek planet was important for Gohan to help his training become even stronger of a fighter. I think that's what that really did. You know?
The best thing for Gohan was to get away from his mother, Chi-Chi, just to train more. I mean, she even gives him books to study on the ride there. It's like, oh my god.
With the false Namek, they think it's real Namek because when they get to the planet, they crash landed, they woke up. They see 2 Namekians above them, named Raditz and Zakuro. These guys are not them, they're aliens. They just, they can change what people see. So they find the fake balls.
Yep, play the mind games.
Bam, discover that, the Z-Fighter discovered it's all fake. They beat them, they take off on the trip. Finally getting to real Namek.
Yeah, which is a beautiful place. I mean, looks just like Earth almost. Got the mountains, got the trees, the water, everything. But somebody else decides to show up there, and that's where you finally get to see Frieza.
That's right. One of the best villains in the Z universe.
Yeah, feared around
by far.
Around universes. He's definitely the #1 bad guy at that time.
At that time, that's right. Yep. So, the Namek Saga still, they keep going. They finally get to Namek. They discover that they're not alone. Okay, so now we're going to start the new saga, the Ginyu Saga.
Yep.
So Frieza's on the planet with his henchmen trying to find the Dragon Balls. They're trying to find the Dragon Balls as well. You find out that Frieza's losing a lot of men for some reason or another. Because who else showed up on the planet?
We got his number one lackey before Vegeta.
That's right. He healed up, knew about the Dragon Balls on Planet Namek, showed up as well.
Yeah, and I mean, we have to mention, I mean, the only reason that Vegeta originally went to Earth to get the Dragon Balls and then to Planet Namek to get their Dragon Balls is because he believes that he will make a wish and have immortality. He will never die. He is a prince. He's a proud prince of his planet, home planet, and he wants to become ruler of the universe. But he can't do that because Frieza is stronger than him.
At that point, his biggest goal is to defeat Frieza. That's his biggest goal right now.
And I mean, Frieza's there for the same exact thing. Frieza's greater than anybody else. He doesn't need immortality, but he knows there might be that one guy someday that beats him. So
Frieza calls in his Special Forces team.
The Ginyu Force.
The Ginyu Force. Remember the members?
You got Captain Ginyu.
Yep.
You got, is it Jax? Who's the red guy? That's about all
So you have Captain Ginyu.
Yep.
Then you have his number one, which is Jace.
Jace, that's what, I knew it started with a J.
Then you have Burter.
Yep, he was the big blue dude.
Then you have Raccoon.
Yeah, he was the human guy.
And Guldo.
And he's the little green guy.
Yes. So, now, at this point in time, when they show up, Frieza discovers that Krillin and Gohan are on the planet as well. This is the first time you see Vegeta fight smart, real smart. He's teaming up with these guys now to defeat the Ginyu Force.
Well, he's also got to realize, too, he realizes that Krillin and Gohan also have what he's looking for. They have one of the Dragon Balls. Frieza at this time's got, I think, like 3 or 4 of them, and Vegeta has the other 2. And he does the smartest thing, one of the other smartest things he does is he sneaks onto Frieza's ship while everybody else is out and about looking and trying to go after Gohan and Krillin.
Yeah.
Which was smart. Here, let you guys be the bait, as you can say, and I'll go. But he can't get them all off at the same time, but he just chucks them away. At least now they're out of the hands of Frieza, and he can go look for them.
At this point, during the Ginyu Saga, Goku's healed up. He's on his way to Namek in another ship.
Training very hard.
He's training. Remember how he's training?
He's doing like 100 times Earth gravity.
100 times Earth gravity, which is crazy amount. So he gets all beefed up in this ship. He finally lands. He enters in the middle of the fight between Bakun and Vegeta.
Yes. Because I think, because he does the same thing that he did to Nappa. He paralyzes the guy basically with
pretty much
with the Kaioken, because originally he wasn't allowed to go past like Kaioken 3 is what King Kai said, but with all this extra training he does like Kaioken times 10. So he just like touches him with a finger basically and breaks the guy's back.
Not nuts.
But that's what all that special training will get you.
That's right. So at this point in time, now you have down between Goku and Captain Ginyu.
Yep.
It's important one because Ginyu has a special talent.
Yes.
Remember that special talent?
It's taking his body and switching it with another guy. So who really knows what Captain Ginyu actually looks like? Because the one you see when you first see the Ginyu Force might not be his actual body.
Exactly.
You don't know what he did all those years before.
Such a crazy thought. I mean, he could be a midget, for all we know.
Exactly. But he does the smartest thing before he switches bodies, though, with Goku. Goes ahead and just gives himself a lethal shot.
Damage.
Yeah, right into the gut. Bleeding from inside out, and then switches bodies with Goku. It's the best idea he ever could have had, because Goku was going to beat them all.
Well, I'm saying that you got to watch the show if you have not seen it yet. It's a crazy show. We're going to skip a little faster. We have a lot to go over. Plus, we have our favorite top 5 going on.
Exactly.
We have the Frieza Saga. Frieza finally shows up, faces one-on-one with Goku. It is the longest anime fight scene in any anime show ever, lasting 3 hours and 30 minutes, roughly.
It's a long fight.
That's a hugely long fight. You don't see anything like that. Because they don't like skip anything, you know? The fight is there. You're going to see every part of this fight.
So much happened in that where you had to stretch it out. I mean, Krillin dies, Frieza kills Krillin, Frieza kills Vegeta. Frieza even transforms 3 different times.
Now, Frieza killing Krillin was one important part of the entire show, because that gave Goku the ability to change Super Saiyan.
The myth of the Saiyan. That is the whole reason why Frieza wanted to become immortal is because there's that Saiyan myth that there is a Super Saiyan that will defeat Frieza. But who knew it was ever going to be Goku? Just a soldier Saiyan, one of the lowest forms, and he becomes the great Super Saiyan.
That's right. So through this 3-hour-and-a-half fight, the planet is getting pretty beat up at this point.
Exactly.
So Goku telepathically tells everybody to get off the planet.
They all escape to Earth, I believe. They all teleport to Earth.
They get to Earth using the Dragon Balls on Earth now.
Yep.
Because Piccolo's now back.
Yep. Because on Earth, Vegeta's alive again.
Yep.
Yep. And then
So that going on. Then the fight ends. Goku defeats Frieza. Now he's got to find his way off the planet before it explodes.
Exactly. I mean, it ends up exploding, and by the time it explodes, everyone thinks Goku is dead.
Yeah.
Because he gets to the ship, both Frieza's ship and I think Bulma's ship, a Namekian ship. They all are down. He can't get home anywheres. Boom! There goes the planet. Goku must be dead too.
Yeah. Yep.
But he's always got that one thing under his sleeve that gets him out of situations, and I think he teleports to like another planet or something like that.
No, he's a Ginyu ship.
The Ginyu ship. Okay, yeah.
He's a Ginyu ship and goes to another planet.
Yep, because he learns different techniques there.
He does. And at this point in time, we're going to jump back on Earth and talk about the other Z fighters and what they're up to. Because this is called the Garlic Jr. Saga.
And this is the one, like I said before, I just cannot remember anything about.
Garlic Jr. was such a cool character. Because he starts off really small, he can change his body, become really big, like Hulk big kind of thing, So at this point, this is Gohan's first villain. This is Gohan saving planet on his own without Goku's help. So you have, do you remember his, this is why I love Garlic Jr. so much. He has his own movie too, but in this one, he always has great villainous names for his henchmen.
Yeah, I know they're called the Spice Boys.
Do you remember their names?
No, I don't.
So you have spice, vinegar, mustard, and salt.
Okay, yes. No wonder they're called the Spice Boys.
Such great names for villains. That's what I love about Garlic Jr.
Yeah.
Because he's garlic. Anyways, the whole plot of this saga is that he unleashes the evil mist.
Yep.
Changes everyone on planet to
to evil.
Almost vampire type characters.
They become evil characters.
So now Gohan must reach Kami's Tower to release the mystic water to cure the Earth and defeat Garlic. Great saga, one of my favorite ones in almost all of them. It was short, wasn't wicked long.
No, it wasn't.
But it was fun to watch. So now we're going to start another really important saga. It's Trunks Saga. This is where character development really kicks in big time. But I'll tell you that after. Trunks shows up, tells the Z Fighters, I know what Goku's going to be. He's going to show up on the planet at this time. Remember this?
I remember. This is where you get somebody else you thought was dead after Namek blew up, and he shows up right before, I believe, Goku does. Yeah,
because at this point you see all the Z Fighters just being on their own, Gohan studying, and everyone's at Roshi's house and whatever. They feel his power level. Rush out there. Who do they see?
They see a reincarnated Frieza.
They see a cyborg Frieza.
Yeah. His dad, King Cold, found him.
Cold shows
because Frieza can survive out in space. That's what they describe.
Yep.
So he's half a body. King Cold gets him, his father, makes him half robot, half Frieza, and he is there to exact his revenge on Goku and the Z Fighters. But he didn't know about Trunks.
Nobody knew about Trunks. Do you know about Trunks?
You don't? And when Trunks first shows up, you're like, who is this guy?
Nobody knows about Trunks.
You don't know anything about him. And he shows up, and what's the first thing he does? He transforms into a Super Saiyan.
Yep.
Which no one knew about a Super Saiyan, really, except for Vegeta.
Well, at this point, there only should be, three
Goku.
Three Saiyans at this point.
Well, no, Vegeta's not even a Super Saiyan yet. No one knows he's a Super
Saiyan. Period. There's only three Saiyans that we all know about.
Exactly. So everyone's thinking, okay, so he transforms into a Super Saiyan, so obviously not all the Saiyans died when Planet Vegeta got exploded.
Yeah. And Trunks comes in, defeats Frieza very easily.
Very easily. Just takes the sword out, cuts him in half.
Yep.
Very easily even destroys his father, King Cold, who's stronger than Vegeta. Stronger than Frieza, I mean.
Great fight scene. Quick, easy.
I know it lasts like not even half an episode, something like that.
Exactly.
So,
Yep.
But then Goku shows back up.
Now, what I'm going to do is we're going to skip a couple of saga names. We have Trunks, we're talking about now, and I'm going to zone that into a couple other ones, which is the Android Saga and Cell Saga. For the sake of time.
Yeah, the Android Saga is very short, though. So
this could be, a 3-hour show if we keep going like this pace, So let's walk through this really quickly. Trunks tells Goku when he finally shows up, in 3 years, 2 androids are going to show up on Earth.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to destroy everything. So now Goku's at the heads up, so we'll start training. All the Z fighters go out, they start training. 3 years later, androids show up. Do you remember androids showed up first?
You have Android 19 and 20.
Android 19 and 20.
Which
aren't getting a little fight. Trunks shows back up in this timeline. Because, believe it or not, he's a time traveler.
Yep.
He shows up in this timeline. He sees 19 on the ground. And he's all shocked because this isn't the androids
from
that they were looking for. You like that Star Wars reference?
Yep.
So now he's got to find those Z fighters and tell them this is not the androids. There are other androids out there.
Mm-hmm.
So pretty much the Android Saga is we see 19, we see 20, we find out who that 20 is Dr. Gero.
From Dragon Ball.
And he created all these androids.
Yep.
So now we have to look at, towards the end of the Android Saga, you have 17 and 18.
Yep.
Twins, brother and sister.
Yes.
Is what they're supposed to be. And those are the androids that Trunks knew about.
Exactly. They're the most powerful of the androids.
Mm-hmm.
Just wreaking havoc until they find Goku, because that's who they want to kill.
Yeah. And even though the Android Saga was kind of short, 17, 18 were very important characters.
Oh, definitely.
Even Android 16, up to a certain part in the show, was a very important android.
Mm-hmm.
Remember 16?
Oh, yeah.
All right.
He was the loving android. He didn't want to hurt things.
Yeah, except for Goku.
Yes.
He'll hurt nothing except for Goku, which is crazy. It's programming, that's what it is. Then we have Cell. This is a giant, another big Cell saga. Because you have Imperfect Cell, all the way up to, Perfect Cell,
mm-hmm.
and then the Cell games that goes on after that.
You got Cell, who's made up, obviously his name's Cell, so he's made up of the cells of every great fighter, which is every Z fighter, and he has to absorb 16, 17, and 18 to become perfect.
What's weird about Cell, he's not a real android. He's half android, but he's like a biomechanical, because he has, he can bleed, he can get hurt, that kind of stuff, not like an android can.
Mm-hmm.
So he eventually needs to inhale, infuse, absorb with Android 17, 18. And every time he does that, his body changes, becomes more stronger and stronger.
Mm-hmm.
So now we have the Cell games that goes on, because now at this point Cell doesn't care about killing anybody.
He wants
taking care of the
showboat.
planet. He wants to showboat. He wants to prove that he is truly the strongest creation out there.
Yep.
So a world tournament, the Cell games happens.
Which was one of the best parts of Dragon Ball Z, was the Cell games.
Cell games was amazing. It's probably one of my favorites. So eventually, Gohan now, after the training, intense training, in the hyperbolical time chamber with Goku, can now change Super Saiyan as well.
Which is he's the youngest to ever go Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
Which is amazing that it took everybody else 30 some odd years till they became adults. And this kid who's 10 years old
which
can just
leads
go like that.
into Cell actually being Gohan's second greatest villain.
I'd consider him maybe even the best.
Well, I mean, Garlic Jr. was the first villain.
Okay. Well,
Cell is kind of his second villain.
Yes.
I'm
thinking how you might have ranked Garlic higher than Cell.
No. But, Cell was going to take over the world eventually, but can go on, save the world again.
With a little bit of help from from
A little bit of help.
his dear old father.
Because now, Daddy died again.
He
We always talk about, Yamcha always dying, Krillin always dying. If you always think about it, Goku's died a lot too.
Well, who defends the world more often? I don't see Krillin going ahead and beating up on all the villains and dying at the same time. He just dies.
So I believe it 8 years later, I think, after the Cell games, we're going to talk how about the Great Saiyaman Saga.
Well, before we get there really quickly, I just want to say how funny it was how Cell does perish. Because he's blown up with all this energy. Goku comes back from Otherworld, brings him to King Kai's planet. And King Kai basically was like, "What are you doing?" Boom, dead. Everyone's dead on King Kai's planet. That was the funniest thing, how it ended. But, like you said, the Saiyaman, it's like 10 years or so later.
I think it's 8 years later,
Something like that. I mean,
then you find out that inside the Cell Saga, Goku and Chi-Chi, they kind of had some time together.
Just a little bit.
So a little bit of time together.
Just a little bit of romantic time.
Because Goku's got a second son now.
Yeah, Goten. What's up with all these names? Goku, Gohan, Goten?
Well, it's weird. Goten was a character meant to take the place of Goku.
I don't know, he's just like the kid version of him.
They were going to actually get rid of Goku at this point. He's a done character with Move On. Chi-Chi's now a widow. You have Gohan and you have Goten, which is the next champion of Earth, if you don't look at it. But they didn't fly that way. They didn't like that idea. Yeah, so Goku eventually comes back.
Yeah. But
Great Saiyaman, not much goes on in the Great Saiyaman Saga.
No, it's just,
unless you look at what Goku does after death.
Yeah, I mean, the Great Saiyaman is obviously it's just Gohan dressed up. Doesn't want to give away his secret identity.
One of the defend the planet.
Corniest characters I can say out of everything in Dragon Ball.
That was cute. I liked it.
But he goes to high school now, all that.
Yep.
Finds out he meets his future wife, Videl, who ironically is the daughter of Hercule, who claims to have beaten Cell at the Cell games.
Of course, why not?
So he didn't lift a finger. So obviously they become a little romantic with each other later on, and
yeah, they hook up. It's good to see Gohan moving on with his life without fighting all the time. Then you have Goku over in the other world with another tournament where he meets another cool character, Pikkon.
Pikkon was amazing.
Pikkon was a cool character. He kind of looked like Piccolo, but not really.
Yep. They have their World Martial Arts tournament, which is a great tournament.
Yep.
Just to see who can train with one of the greatest Kais ever, the Grand Kai. But the funniest way how it ends, how they both are DQ'd for touching the ceiling, so it's counted as a ring out.
Because if it was upside down, the ceiling would be the floor, and the floor is the ceiling. Therefore, you touch the floor.
Exactly.
You're DQ'd.
This is why he's the Grand Kai, because he comes up with these rules just so he doesn't have to train people.
But now we have the final saga. Let's talk about the final saga.
Yep.
And it's split up into 4 parts, because each part is different. You have the World Martial Arts Saga, then you have the Babidi Saga, the Majin Buu Saga, and Kid Buu Saga. This is where it finally all ends right here.
The World Martial Arts Tournament I actually really enjoy because you see all these in different sagas or different seasons, however you want to place it, the World Martial Arts Tournament, because it happens every 5-10 years. And it's really cool to see all these fighters come together to do this tournament. Because I love watching tournaments no matter what, whether it's sports tournaments, stuff like that. So it's a neat thing. But you don't get to see much of it just because of the, Babidi or Bibidi?
You have 2 other henchmen first, who's under the Majin spell right now. And these guys have actually taken place in the other previous tournaments before. Because Piccolo recognized them, and Goku also recognized them.
Yeah, and Hercule. Because Hercule beat one of them in a previous tournament.
Exactly, yeah. So, I mean, these guys, they're not new. We already know about them. Then all they're there to do is just get the energy from all these fighters. And that's their sole purpose right now.
Exactly, and you don't know what they need this energy for. All you know is they need a massive amount of energy, and they do the best way of actually to get that energy is they bait Gohan into giving it to him. Just beat the crap out of Videl, and he's going to come to her rescue, just like he did.
Yep. So they finally get the energy they need. They take off. And that's when all the Z fighters follow them to find out where they're going. That's when we find out we meet Babidi, which is a wizard who is trying to resurrect a new
villain.
A new villain for us, but he's been with the planet for a long
Yes,
time.
because his father actually created this villain.
Yes,
But you don't learn about that till way towards the end of the season.
that's right. So Bobbity kind of looks like a cricket, doesn't he?
I guess, yeah, his father was a little bit better.
Yeah.
They both have those giant eyes. That
Giant eyes look like crickets,
Yeah.
but they're very magical, very kind of
Yep.
powerful. Bobbity's henchman, remember his name?
Deborah,
Deborah, yep.
king of the demons,
That's right.
can spit at you, turn
Find
you
out
into
that
stone.
he's actually under his control, too.
Yes, because when he dies, he becomes this very happy
Flower child.
Yeah, very happy guy in
Yeah.
Otherworld.
Yep. So, finally get enough energy. They go down energy to resurrect this giant ball. Remember the ball? It's like a
Yep.
big purple ball, And inside it had
A monster named Majin Buu.
Majin Buu, that's right. Big pink puff.
A very happy pink puff, though.
He was.
Very kiddish.
What was his final attack?
He turns people into candy.
He turns people into chocolate. He
Yep.
loves chocolate.
Chocolate and cake are his two favorite things. Yep. Well, you learn, though, later on.
It's such a strange villain. It's such a strange saga, but it's also really fun to watch.
Yeah. I mean, you learn later on that the reason he likes those sweets so much is because back when he was first created, the guy who created him said that cake and candy are the best food ever. So he got it stuck in his mind that he always wanted cake and candy. So.
But then you have Majin Buu. He's actually fighting with his inner self.
Yep.
And then the two split apart.
Yeah.
Yeah, now you have Evil Buu.
Evil Boo, yes.
Goes after Majin Buu. I believe he eats him, doesn't he?
Yeah, he turns them into a candy bar.
Yeah, he eats him, yeah.
Yeah, and that becomes, instead of an old, gray, wrinkly Majin Buu,
Yeah.
he becomes the full evil version. I call him Adult Boo.
Yeah,
'Cause he
why
just-
not? Yeah.
Just look like an adult.
Yep.
And just starts absorbing everybody,
Yeah.
taking all their abilities until...
It's the first time you see Gohan die, too.
Yes. Well, it doesn't really die.
Gohan takes his first death right here.
It doesn't really die, though.
Well,
Are you talking?
consider it dead.
I mean, they get absorbed.
He gets absorbed.
So,
That's a fate greater than death.
I guess. But you get to see Vegeta come back from the dead because before all this happened, he sacrificed himself to try to kill Boo.
Yep.
That didn't work out. He comes back from the dead.
Mm.
Goku believes that the only way to win is to fuse together, which
New fighting technique.
fusion, which I love fusion. But of course, you got Vegeta still not wanting to fuse with him and stuff. He's a proud prince of the Saiyans, but
He doesn't want anything to do with Kakarot.
they do, and they're a force to be reckoned with. Until they take everybody out of Boo, and he transforms back. When you're actually thinking he's going to transform into something new, but he transforms into his original form, which is Kid Boo,
Yep.
the most powerful Boo out of all of them.
Which is really weird.
You would think absorbing everybody,
Yep.
you become more powerful, but
Yeah.
he obviously doesn't.
It's so dead.
Literally, you can't. And I mean, I just recently watched this end of the Dragon Ball Z,
Yeah.
and it's epic because they do everything they can, and they cannot kill this guy, because you kill him and he just reforms back into himself.
Of course.
Until Goku uses that spirit bomb once again.
That giant, like super
Well, it's because it's from
Oh.
everybody on Earth.
plus the galaxy.
Yeah, but what's funny is Goku and Vegeta can't get everyone on Earth to give them their energy. It has to be Hercule, who doesn't do anything, but finally says, "Give me your energy," and the people give it to Goku.
So technically, Hercule, being a useless character,
Save the universe.
saved the entire universe.
Yes, and he takes credit for it.
Why wouldn't he?
Oh, Hercule.
All right,
Hercule.
so that's pretty much the big summary of this show.
Yeah.
Giant summary show. I suggest everybody watch it. Unfortunately, I don't really know of a place online that you can stream the show.
I've done it before where you just YouTube Dragon Ball and you say an episode.
Okay, so YouTube works.
Yeah. The best thing is just to try to go out there and watch it. If you
Buy the seasons, yep.
Yeah, I mean they're amazing. It's like I said, been going on since 1986.
Entertainment all
It's
the time.
originally from Japan. It's one of those anime things from Japan, and the creator of of Dragon Ball knew what he was doing when he started it. I mean, obviously you did when something's been going on for nearly 30 years.
Yeah.
So
All these different aspects of the universe itself now. We always talk about villains. I thought it'd be really appropriate to introduce even more villains.
Yep.
With our top 5 favorite Dragon Ball Z villains.
Yes. Well, let's get it started. My number 5 is Android 17.
Okay.
Just because I look back and I see him later on down the road when he fuses with his dead self and another self.
Okay.
This is kind of going into the Dragon Ball GT thing that happened.
Which we won't discuss.
We won't discuss, but still, I had to put him on there because then he fuses together and becomes this epic android that nobody can kill. I mean, Piccolo ends up switching places with Goku in HFIL just so Goku can come back to try to beat Android 17. And in the Android sagas,
it's all GT stuff.
Still, but I can say that in the Android saga, it was 17 who was basically coming up with all the plans on what to destroy and everything. 18 never really wanted to destroy anything. It was 17 that always killed
18 seemed kind of lazy, huh?
Yeah. She just wanted to shop. So, he's my number 17.
All right.
My number 5, I mean. My number 4 is one of my all-time, I guess, villains I hate the most, that I don't really care for, but I had to put him on here. It was Broly.
Broly, okay.
Another Saiyan. Hey, if you can make 3 films out of one villain, he deserves to be on the list.
All right, I'll give you that.
Broly, no one ever could really defeat, really. He was one of those all-time powerful Super Saiyans.
You know how powerful he was when he was born?
No.
He was born with 100,000 power level.
There you go. That just tells you something. I mean, Broly, one of the, not greatest Saiyans, but I guess you can say one of the most powerful.
Legendary Saiyans?
There you go. So, my number 3 is Majin Buu.
Majin Buu.
Not technically the original. I originally had...
Not Fat Buu?
No. I originally had on the list Evil Buu.
Okay.
Because Evil Buu, the second one, did something no villain has ever done in the Dragon Ball era. And that is kill everybody on Earth.
Yeah?
They all say they want to take over Earth. They want to kill everybody. But Buu actually does it. In one blow, he kills everybody on the planet and then blows up the planet. And then goes to other planets and blows them up.
Yeah.
Granted, he blew the planet up as Kid Buu, but he killed everybody as Adult Buu, then blew up planets as Kid Buu, so I just call it one big Buu. So he's my number 3.
You're Boo Boo. Got it.
My number 2 is Frieza.
Frieza.
If you can be this villain that strikes fear into everybody in the universe, he deserves to be on this list. Also, I mean, the Frieza saga is epic. Frieza kills everybody. He's just one of those villains you know if you're into Dragon Ball. And he's one of the all-time most powerful villains. I mean, obviously, we'll get into next time the new movie, Resurrection of Frieza, that's coming out. So,
absolutely.
But my number 1 is the great and powerful Cell.
Cell.
Why I put Cell at my number 1 over Frieza is the one thing Frieza had that Cell didn't is Frieza had lackeys. So Frieza needed his lackeys to get his work done. Cell did everything by himself.
No, he didn't.
He had his little Cell guys.
It's Cell Juniors.
Yes, but really,
Cell Juniors.
Those really weren't, to me, lackeys.
They were just trying to keep the other Z fighters busy.
Exactly. I mean, they're really only there for an episode or 2. They're not really anything.
Okay.
You know, like Frieza had Zarbon and Deborah and the Ginyu Force.
All right.
Stuff like that. To me, everything Cell did by himself.
Yeah.
He absorbed the androids by himself.
He was one of my favorite villains.
He beat Trunks and Vegeta by himself. He killed Goku. I mean, that's why he deserves to be my number 1. So.
I think Goku killed Goku.
I don't know. I can't remember. There's so much.
It was suicide. All right. So my top 5 is different because it's a bunch of movies and not just the show itself.
Yes.
All right. So I'm going to start off in my number 5 as Lord Slug. Remember Lord Slug?
Yes. Before we started filming this today, it was either Android 17 or Lord Slug who were my number 5. And it was hard. The only reason I went with 17 is because I knew more about 17 than Slug.
Lord Slug would be defined as the super legendary Namekian. He can change his size, appearance as well. You know, he had like Ant-Man's powers, you know? Like Piccolo, he can stretch out like Mr. Fantastic, and that's all he can really do. He can't make him size bigger, but Lord Slug had the ability to do that. I thought, him just wanted to just take over the planet, as every other villain does, but he did it in kind of a different way, He terra-frees the planet.
Yeah.
And which I thought was kind of a cool concept. Then number 4, we already know about him. I loved him anyways. I have Garlic Jr.
Yep.
Because Gohan is probably he's in my top 3 favorite characters.
Yep.
So I'd like to see Gohan have his villain on his list. Number 3 is your number 1. I have Cell. He was in the show itself, probably my favorite saga, favorite villain. I'm actually watching it right now at home. Good stuff. All right, number 2, BoJack. From the movie BoJack Unbound. And this takes place. If you look at the show itself, probably between the Trunks and Android saga, because future Trunks comes back. They all get entered into a world tournament, and inside this tournament, it gets taken over by BoJack. Huge villain, wants to take over the world. And at this point in time, Goku is dead. So it's just Gohan, another Gohan villain, actually.
There you go.
If you think about it, it's another Gohan villain. And it's one of those great movies. You gotta watch that movie if you've not seen it yet. It's fantastic. BoJack is almost like a green color with red hair.
Okay.
He had really cool lackeys too.
I'll have to go back and relive it.
Krillin gets awesome in this movie too. Number 1 is probably an epic character. They should have done more with him in the seasons, but they only gave him a movie. I'm talking about Turles.
So I don't even know him.
Turles is Goku's cousin.
So another Saiyan.
Another Saiyan.
Okay.
He's from the movie Tree of Might.
Done.
And in this movie, Turles has a seed. Him and his lackeys come to Earth to plant the seed. The seed soaks up all the energy and nutrition into a fruit. Once Turles takes a bite of that fruit, he becomes supercharged. Real powerful, real strong.
Okay.
Turles looks exactly like Goku, too. Looks exactly like him.
Look like Goku.
Looks exactly like him with the Scouter.
Okay.
So that is my top 5 of villains that you probably never seen before.
Obviously, I didn't.
If you haven't, you should go out, watch those movies, because they're all just
BoJack and Turles never.
phenomenal stuff.
Well, let's mash them together.
I like my list. Done.
I would put Slug at 5, just because, like I said,
Okay.
I almost had him at my 5.
17 was a cool character though.
Yeah. So then you had Garlic Jr. and I had Broly. Like I said, I hate Broly. I hate the character.
Right.
But I thought he deserved to be on my list. Garlic Jr. I haven't looked at much, so I'm not sure. But I do know the backstory of Garlic Jr. So I could say Garlic Jr. does deserve to be on there.
Okay. So we can do 4 as Garlic Jr.
Yep. I don't think Cell's a 3. I think
No.
Cell should be a 1 or a 2.
Yeah, I think Cell should probably be 1, honestly. Cell was a cool character.
I mean, I had Frieza and Boo at my 3 and 2. You had BoJack and Turles, which I don't even know who they are.
Right. I think, for the best characters, villains, I think at least Frieza needs to be on here. Cell needs to be on here. Those two need to be on here.
But where would you put Frieza? 3 or 2?
2.
Yeah?
2. I'd put Frieza as 2. I'd put Cell's 1. Frieza's 2. And, Boo is he's such a complex villain. He
really doesn't become much of a villain until he releases his
Inner Boo.
his evil side.
Right.
So we're throwing Broly out, right?
Yeah, we're gonna throw Broly out. So for me, it's either between Turles and Boo.
And I would let you choose because this is your expertise. I can only go and judge on what I've seen. Whereas you've seen everything. And I don't know anything about BoJack or Turles.
Right.
That's my problem.
Let's put Boo as 3 and he he affected the universe a lot more.
Yeah.
Just say that.
He killed everybody.
Yeah, I mean, he affected a lot more.
The only guy to kill everybody.
So there it is, the top 5. Andy, why don't you run us through what
We got
the top
number
5
5.
was?
We got Lord Slug. We got number 4, Garlic Jr., Gohan's his very first villain. Majin Buu, or just Buu, you can call him.
Yep.
I mean, the only guy to ever destroy everybody on planet Earth. Got number 2 is Frieza, one of the most feared guys ever in Dragon Ball. But number 1 is Cell, the guy who knows everything about all the Z fighters, obviously because he's got all their cells in him.
Exactly. Yep.
Number 1 on anybody who is a fan of Dragon Ball Z's
Yeah.
list. So,
Which about fans, I mean, this show isn't just a cartoon, and we have a few minutes left, so it's going to wrap up here. But there's a lot of character development in the show as well.
oh, tons.
I mean, let's discuss Piccolo himself. He's this green Namekian who started off as a huge villain. Didn't want to have anything to do with anybody.
Yeah.
He turned from villain to kind of a peacemaker with Goku, knowing he got to fight for a better cause. Because if someone else takes over, there's no plan to take over for Piccolo.
You can really say this. The second he became Gohan's trainer is when he turned good.
Yeah.
Because Gohan is literally rubbing off on him.
He's really realizing it, and then honestly, he became a villain to future Z fighter trainer. Is what really Piccolo's part in the whole show is.
He becomes Gohan's father, you can say too. I mean,
Yep, another father figure.
Gohan, I think, looks up to Piccolo more than he does his own father. Obviously, because Goku dies all the time, but Piccolo, I mean, even looking at him, he looks like a villain. He's always got that snarl look on his face and everything. But he is one of those kind-hearted guys towards the end that would take a Kamehameha wave, I guess, for you.
And he trained Goten and young Trunks too.
Yep. Taught him how to fuse.
Yep.
Which was a great story in itself. But
I think out of any show, cartoon, real life, doesn't matter. There's one character in this show that tops anything for character development. This one character changed everything about who he thought he believed in to what it really is. And I'm talking about Vegeta.
Vegeta is the number 1 guy to go from evil to good. Granted, he's more good in the Dragon Ball era than evil, but when you watch him in the beginning to the very last episode, you'll notice such a huge change in who he is. He's this proud Saiyan prince, and he turns into father and husband.
I mean, would you expect someone like Vegeta, knowing who he was, to die for his family?
Not just his family, everyone on Earth.
Yeah, he died. He took a bullet, pretty much, for all of that. It's from a character who should not be doing this.
Exactly.
Should not be doing this.
He does at the end, too, when he gets brought back and everyone gets brought back after the defeated Buu. Trunks is trying to, hugging him, and he goes, "Hi, Trunks." Like, he doesn't want to show the emotion,
Yeah.
but he is so happy that his family's back.
Okay, anybody would shed a tear at that one scene when Vegeta died at that point. Because it was just something so unexpected.
Oh, they make it so well played out with the music, and he's actually crying in that scene.
Yep.
Because he's doing it for Trunks. He even talks about how he's doing it for Bulma and for Trunks and everybody.
Yeah.
And it was I remember watching it, very emotional. I thought actually that was the end of Dragon Ball Z.
Oh, you did?
Because they took such a long break after that. And it was so powerful. But he tries to show his meanness to himself, but he just can't.
You just can't do it.
After having his family and everything, he's just, he's now, like I said, he's a father and a husband first.
Yeah, he is now.
I mean, even...
there is still one goal he has. There is that one goal that's never going to die no matter what.
Oh, he always wants to be stronger than Goku.
Exactly right.
But he never can.
That's his one goal.
Goku always gets to some other place before him, which I thought it was hilarious in the Buu saga, because when they're fighting each other, doesn't realize that Goku can become a Super Saiyan 3.
Right.
So when he gets reincarnated, he finds out through King Yama that he's a number 3.
Yep.
And he comes back and goes, "What were you trying to
Proof.
to do? You knew you could beat me, but you didn't." "Yeah, I know. I just didn't want to hurt your feelings." It's like, really?
It's one of those character development, man. Just
They kind of have like a brother relationship.
at the end, he does, yeah. Yep. So I suggest you guys all watch it from season 1 up to season 9, and just watch what Vegeta does throughout the entire thing.
Exactly.
Now, quickly, there are a bunch of jokes going around between Krillin and Yamcha. These two are always dying, apparently. Apparently, but really they haven't. They only died once in each show.
Yeah.
In the show itself, you know. Goku died more. But Krillin is my favorite character in the entire show. That guy, he's the underdog, but he never backs down. He's always there all the time. He fought every single villain. Yamcha didn't.
No.
Tien, he was always, you know,
Off training.
off training with Chao Su, but he never did all that stuff. Not like Krillin did.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite character?
It's hard for me to say, but if I had to think right off the back right now, it'd be Trunks the Trunks from the future.
Future Trunks?
Yes, I like future Trunks. But yeah, that's
the Dragon Ball Z show.
it. I mean, we wanted to start off with Dragon Ball, obviously,
Right.
but we haven't really caught up on all of it.
There's still more research I want to do.
But we're hoping maybe for the next show we'll do
So
Dragon
next
Ball.
time on Legend of Nerds, we're gonna probably have hopefully a good Dragon Ball episode.
Maybe talk about that future movie that's coming out soon too.
Maybe talk about the future movie. Yeah, you have a show and just the movies itself.
Exactly.
There's so many movies out there.
Exactly.
So much merchandise out there. It's a huge universe with Dragon Ball. Very exciting stuff.
But with that, everybody, it has our worst part of the show is when we have to end.
Yep.
So,
It is.
like always, I just want to tell you out there, like us on Facebook, subscribe to our YouTube page, both at Legends of the Nerds. YouTube, where you can catch up on all of James's quirky,
I've done it in a while. I gotta do one.
all his quirky,
I gotta do one.
his interviews with himself, basically. You can catch up on every one of our shows, and we always ask you to leave comments. We want to hear from you. We want to know what you want us to talk about. Don't forget, we in another month and a half is going to be our Comic-Con episode.
Comic-Con.
We are looking forward to that episode. So
Are we cosplaying?
We'll figure it out then. We still have a month and a half to go.
All right.
But we look forward to seeing you maybe there alongside with us. Ask us your questions there. But as always, everybody, stay nerdy.